Leonardo da Vinci and all these sort of great epic moments in music and history, seeing punk music and funk music and all these sort of things. Those are the things that excite me, is like being able to see like, when like Bad Brains started out, or like, Rolling Stones, or like the Beatles and all these sorts of things, and seeing these people break these molds. All of those time periods are exciting to me.
I would love to see something, hugely massive scale, like the reach of the Roman Empire and how massive that was, and all the technologies that they had invented, running water through aqueducts and all this crazy stuff. I'd love to see that.
Well, Renaissance is my favorite time. My hometown is back home in Croatia was like the biggest beginning of the city. Second beginning was the Renaissance time, so I was always kind of like walking amongst those buildings, and I was like wondering how would that look like. And everything is built out of stone and this and that. But then often I remember they didn't have plumbing. About 1450, there was the huge plague that killed 70% of the population of my hometown. So you're gonna think about those. I'm like, I kind of prefer watch the TV show or get a good history book. But one of my favorite movies is The Right Stuff, for example. And imagine that President Kennedy comes on the stage and say, "We're gonna go to the moon like in this period of time," and it's like what, 8-9 years? We go from zero to a hero. We land to the moon, and now we are like, such a slow progress with like space exploration and everything. So like that time was kind of golden time of space exploration in a way. It would be, I don't know what will we do there, but it would be nice to be a part of it. Imagine watching live landing, moon landing.
It looks like your character might get that, since they kind of tease that too.
It's not allowed to talk past that.
I know, I understand.
Well, and it's also interesting because there's so many different histories. Like Goran, it's always fun to be around him because he reminds me of a more global scale. I think, it's interesting to delve into the American history, and I think we have such a rich history, and it's going to be interesting to see how we go into that. And it's also interesting to see how it's affected the world and how the world has affected us in all these other different places. So I think, and that feels like a long-term goal, like is exploring all these other different places. So it's pretty amazing.
Speaking of goals. Speaking of goals, each of your characters has their own goals. How would you describe them? At least based on what you know so far.
How would I describe my character's goals?
Yeah.
My goal is to stay home. That is. I mean, my character's sort of everyman. Like he doesn't have like, this guy's a soldier. These guys very much are driven by an ideology and going after this. And my character really he likes being behind the desk. He likes being at a computer. And so that's sort of the interesting thing about them. They're all sort of fish out of water in different ways. But my character really wants to be home. He really wants to like kiss a girl. You know what I mean? So having this type of individual go into the past who isn't excited to be the hero but is forced to be in certain occasions is probably the most interesting part for me to play.